So, Monica, what else can you share with us about the current insurance market? Give us a couple of tips on maybe what a buyer should be looking for, or what questions should he be asking or her be asking maybe their agent or yourself as far as when they're going out looking at these properties. What should they look for?
The best thing that you can do is a home that's newer. The newer the home, the better the rate, pretty much
Okay.
across the board. Because
Okay.
newer homes are built up to the hurricane code, the most updated hurricane code. So they're going to be the best rate. The roof is new. So, we can get some carriers that have those roof requirements that are 8 years or less. We can get some of those to come on board, and we can get those rates. They typically have, some lower rates. So the newer the home, the better. The newer the roof, the better. You always want to make sure that the plumbing, electrical, air conditioning, and roof are in good condition if it's an older home. As far as rates go, a block home is always going to be better than a frame home for
Okay.
rates.
Mm-hmm.
Um, Not that it's a better home. I have people yell at me about this all the time. I'm not saying it's a
Yeah.
better home, but you
Right.
get
Right.
a, you
Just
get
for
a,
insurance
this
purposes,
home has
right?
been here since the 70s and nothing's ever happened to it. So I think it's fine. Yes, it is fine. But your rate's going to be better always with a masonry home. Um, if you have hurricane protection, that's not as big of a credit typically as people always think it is. But
I was
when
just going to
it
ask you
comes,
that. Yeah.
yeah. So hurricane protection, in order for you to get the credit, every single opening has to be protected. Doors, windows, garage door, skylights have to be up to code if you have skylights. So every opening has to be protected up to the 2002 code in order for you to get the credit. So sometimes, if someone has zero openings protected, the amount of the credit isn't going to be worth it for them to get all those openings protected because it can be very expensive.
Sure.
So it would take them 30 years to recoup that expense of protecting those windows. So sometimes we'd rather see them use that money to do something else. So, for example, it's really important that you get a home inspector, and I'm sure you're probably going to have an episode where you talk to a home inspector, but it's
Absolutely.
very important that you have a home inspector that knows what they're doing, a home inspector that's done a lot of home inspections, that all they do is home inspections. You want a home inspector that does it for a living. You don't
Right.
want someone's
You don't
uncle
want
who can
Joe down
do
the
it because
street.
they have
Right.
the license. You're
Right.
not saving money in the long run. You're really not,
Right.
because the cost of the inspection is, what, $400 or $500 for the inspection, and you
Right.
could potentially lose out on $1,000 credit if they don't complete the wind mitigation inspection correctly. So you
Right.
want somebody that really knows what they're doing and that does it all the time, and that's how they make their living, doing home inspections and the same person who does the home inspection can do the wind mitigation and the 4-point, which are the inspections that we require for insurance.
Awesome.
Um, yeah.
So quick question for you, and I get this question all the time. So you're talking about
Mhm.
8 to 10 years on a roof, or you're going to pay more. Does it matter what type of roof it is, whether it's metal, whether it's shingle, whether it's barrel tile?
Sure. Yeah, absolutely it does. So the shingle roof has less life expectancy overall. So that
Okay.
one is the one where we might see 8 to 10 years
Eight to
where they
ten
might
years. Okay.
allow us to do it. The shingle roof typically is a 15 to 20 year roof.
Right.
So it actually has a life expectancy of 15 to 20 years. But there are some insurance companies that will not insure it if it's over 10, because they're
Okay.
trying not to get into the situation where they're replacing your roof
Replacing a roof. Yeah.
because you have a
Absolutely.
little lifted shingle or something. They don't want to have to replace your roof for free when it has a little bit of damage. So they're trying to mitigate some of that law by not, you
And what
know,
if it's a metal roof?
metal roofs are good for typically 40 to 50 years. They're very good. They last a really long time. A lot of people now are replacing their roofs with metal roofs. We're seeing it all the time. The metal roof is a little more expensive, but what I've been seeing lately, I don't know if you guys have been seeing it too, is that cost seems to be much closer than it used to be for a
Yeah.
metal roof versus a shingle roof or a tile
Almost.
roof. That it used to
Yeah.
be like so much more expensive to get the metal roof, but now I've been seeing that the price really isn't that much different. So, and then a
So
tile
you don't
roof is
have
typically
so you don't have that 8 to 10 years where they're not going to insure you. On a metal roof, you could get insurance up until it's 30, 40 years old,
right on the metal roof. They'll
theoretically.
typically, that same carrier that's, to 10 years will be 20 to 30 years on a metal roof. They'll let you go a lot longer.
Okay.
Yeah.
Oh, interesting.
So you can get a lot more time. But ultimately, if you get if you have a 30-year-old home or now a 20-year-old home with Citizens, and you get a 4-point inspection and you have 3 years remaining useful life, we can get insurance for the home. You're going to have to replace the roof in the first year, but we can get you insured and get you closed. So
Okay.
the 3 years remaining useful life is what you need to know, because there is someone out there that will insure you as long as you have that. Yeah.
Okay, so that's the key to it. Awesome.
The remaining useful life of the roof is the really important number.
I hope you enjoyed that short clip. And if you'd like to see another one, click right here. And if you would like to see the entire video, click right here. Thank you so much for watching, and I'll see you on the next one.